You will never be poor again. Robert Kiyosaki's Money Secrets. Most people spend their entire lives working for money, yet they never seem to have enough. They struggle paycheck to paycheck, hoping for a raise, a promotion, or a miracle. But what if the reason you're stuck isn't because you're not working hard enough, but because you were taught the wrong rules about money? Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, believes that the system is designed to keep people broke. Schools don't teach financial education, and society encourages us to work hard, save money, and play it safe. The problem? That mindset keeps you poor. The rich don't think like that. They operate under a completely different set of money rules, rules that most people will never learn. Think about this. If working hard alone created wealth, wouldn't the hardest working people, like laborers, factory workers, and teachers, be the richest? Instead, the wealthy are those who own businesses, invest in assets, and build systems that generate income without them working 40 hours a week. Kiyosaki argues that it's not your salary that makes you rich, it's your financial education. Without the right money mindset, even a six-figure income won't protect you from living paycheck to paycheck. But when you learn how money truly works, you can break free from the cycle of financial struggle forever. By the end of this audiobook, you'll understand why the rich keep getting richer and how you can escape the paycheck to paycheck trap for good. Lesson 1. The rich think differently about money. One of the biggest financial myths that keeps people broke is the idea that money is earned by trading time for it. Most people grow up believing that the only way to make money is by working harder, getting a raise, or climbing the corporate ladder. But the truth is, the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. The poor and middle class work for money, the rich have money work for them. Robert Kiyosaki. Imagine two people, John and Sarah. John works a 9-to-5 job, earns a salary, and saves diligently. Sarah, on the other hand, invests in real estate and owns a small online business. Who do you think will be wealthier in 10 years? John's income is capped by his job. Sarah, however, has multiple streams of income growing without her needing to work more hours. That's the difference in mindset that separates the rich from the poor. The employee mindset versus the investor mindset. Employees trade time for money. Investors use money to create more money. Employees depend on one income source, a job. Investors build multiple income streams. Employees work harder to earn more. Investors work smarter by putting money to work. This is why the rich continue to get richer, because they understand the power of leveraging money. Instead of working harder, they make smart investments that bring in more income without needing their daily involvement. Think about your own financial habits. Do you spend most of your time earning money, or are you building systems that generate wealth while you sleep? If your goal is financial freedom, you need to shift from an employee mindset to an investor mindset. A great example of this is Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. He doesn't make his billions by working overtime at a job. Instead, he invests in businesses and assets that generate income long-term. He once said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." That is the fundamental principle of financial independence. So how do you start shifting your mindset? First, stop focusing on short-term income and start thinking about long-term wealth-building strategies. Instead of asking, how can I make more money this month? Start asking, how can I create an income stream that will pay me for years? The first step, stop thinking of money as something you work for. Start thinking of it as a tool that works for you. Every dollar you earn should be assigned a job, either to invest in assets, grow your income, or generate cash flow. That's how you start thinking like the rich. Lesson 2. Assets versus liabilities. The key to wealth. Kiyosaki teaches that the most important financial principle is understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. This single concept determines whether a person gets richer over time or remains stuck in financial struggle. What is an asset? An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, whether you work or not. Examples include rental properties that generate monthly income, stocks that pay dividends, a business that runs without your direct involvement, intellectual property like books, patents, or online courses. What is a liability? A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Most people mistakenly think their home is an asset, but if you're paying a mortgage, property taxes, and maintenance costs, it's actually a liability, unless it's generating income for you. The rich buy assets. The poor only have expenses. The middle class buys liabilities they think are assets. Robert Kiyosaki. Why this concept matters. The poor and middle class often accumulate liabilities disguised as assets, like expensive cars, big houses, and consumer debt. Meanwhile, the wealthy focus on acquiring income-generating assets. Imagine two people, David and Lisa. David buys a new luxury car, taking out a loan with monthly payments. Lisa, instead, buys a rental property that generates positive cash flow every month. 10 years later, David's car has lost value, but Lisa's rental income has increased, allowing her to buy even more assets. The key lesson? Before spending money, ask yourself, is this putting money into my pocket or taking it out? To build wealth, you must prioritize assets over liabilities. Every dollar spent should be a strategic investment toward financial freedom. How to start? Audit your expenses. List your current liabilities and see how much they cost you. Redirect money toward assets. Instead of buying a new gadget, invest in a stock, course, or side business. Think long-term. Wealth isn't built overnight, but small decisions today will determine your financial future. One additional tip Kiyosaki gives is to pay yourself first, before paying bills or making unnecessary purchases. This means that a portion of your income should immediately go toward investing in assets before any other spending happens. Doing this consistently over time will shift your financial future in ways most people never experience. This is the real secret of the rich. They don't work harder. They buy assets that work for them. Lesson 3. Why school teaches you the wrong money. Lessons. From a young age, we're taught that getting good grades and finding a stable job is the path to success. But Kiyosaki argues that this traditional education system was never designed to create wealthy individuals. Instead, it was designed to produce good employees who will work for others their entire lives. The school system focuses on academic intelligence, not financial intelligence. Students graduate knowing how to solve equations and memorize history dates, but are never taught the basics of wealth building, such as how to manage money, how to invest in assets, how to build passive income streams, how to legally minimize taxes. This lack of financial education is not accidental, it's systemic. The traditional path of going to school, getting a job, buying a house, and saving for retirement keeps people stuck in a cycle of financial dependency. The system teaches people how to work for money, but never how to make money work for them. It's not what you know that makes you rich, it's what you don't know that keeps you poor. Robert Kiyosaki, Breaking Free from the System. If school won't teach financial freedom, where should you learn it? Kiyosaki suggests 1. Read books on wealth building and investing. 2. Surround yourself with financially successful people. 3. Learn by doing. Start investing even in small amounts. 4. Take control of your financial education. Don't rely on others. A key lesson he emphasizes is that your real education starts after school. Most millionaires and successful entrepreneurs didn't rely on formal education to build their wealth. They self-educated through books, mentors, and real-world experience. How the wealthy educate themselves. Unlike the average person who stops learning after college, the rich make lifelong learning a priority. They constantly seek financial knowledge, mentorship, and real-world experience. Instead of spending hours watching entertainment, they read books on investing, study business models, and network with other successful individuals. Another key difference: the wealthy learn through action. They don't wait until they know everything to start investing or building a business. They start small, make mistakes, learn from them, and refine their strategies. Experience is the best teacher in the world of finance. For example, many successful entrepreneurs started businesses before they fully understood everything. They took action, adjusted along the way, and developed expertise through real-life practice. The average person, however, waits until they feel ready, and often never starts at all. Practical steps to re-educate yourself. If you want to escape the cycle of financial struggle, you must unlearn the limiting beliefs taught in school and actively seek financial knowledge. Here's how you can start. Read at least one book on finance per month. Some of the best books include Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Psychology of Money, and Think and Grow Rich. Start a side hustle or small investment. You don't need thousands of dollars to begin. Start with a small investment in stocks, crypto, or real estate. Take online courses. Platforms like Udemy and Coursera offer valuable courses on investing, business, and financial literacy. Join a mastermind group. Surround yourself with people who are actively learning and growing their wealth. The key takeaway: the rich never stop learning, and neither should you. Real financial education happens outside of school, and it's up to you to take control of your knowledge. Lesson 4. The power of passive income and financial freedom. One of the biggest differences between the rich and the poor is how they earn money. The poor and middle class rely solely on active income, trading their time for money. The rich, on the other hand, prioritize passive income, which allows them to make money even when they're not working. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Warren Buffett. Active income versus passive income. Active income requires ongoing effort. If you stop working, the money stops coming in. Passive income continues to generate money without your direct involvement. Examples of passive income streams: real estate investing, earning rental income from properties, dividend stocks, stocks that pay shareholders a portion of company profits, online businesses, selling digital products, courses, or memberships, royalties, earning from books, patents, or licensing deals. The secret of the wealthy is that they build multiple streams of passive income. Instead of relying on one paycheck, they create systems that pay them continuously, whether they're working or not. How to start building passive income. Many people believe passive income is only for the rich, but that's not true. You can start small. Here's how. 1. Invest a portion of your paycheck. Instead of saving all your money in a bank, put some into dividend stocks or index funds. 2. Start a side business. Sell digital products, create an online course, or monetize a YouTube channel. 3. Buy rental properties. Even one property can provide long-term financial security. The key is to make your money work for you so that over time, you no longer depend on a paycheck. Passive income isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about creating financial security and freedom for the long term. Imagine waking up every day knowing your investments, businesses, and assets are working for you. That's real financial freedom. But here's what holds most people back. They never start. They overthink, they wait for the perfect time, and they keep relying on their salary. The truth is, the perfect time will never come. You have to take action now. Even if you start with just $50 in an investment account, the habit of investing will change your mindset. Over time, that habit will compound into real wealth. If you take small steps today, in a few years, you could be living off the money your assets generate instead of being trapped in a job you don't love. The choice is yours. Conclusion: take action and change your financial future. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You now have the knowledge that can change your financial future forever. But knowledge alone isn't enough. You must take action. The rich don't get richer because they're lucky. They get richer because they think differently, prioritize assets, and build passive income streams. Now it's your turn. Ask yourself, what's one action you can take today? Can you start setting aside money to invest? Can you begin a side hustle? Can you read one more book on financial education? Small steps lead to big results. Most people will listen to this and do nothing. They'll go back to their old habits, their old way of thinking, and their financial struggles will continue. Don't let that be you. Your financial future is in your hands. Start today, because the sooner you begin, the sooner you'll achieve real financial freedom.